Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and this is your first time, welcome. My name is MonayMcdaniel. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you take time to do so. If you like, you can hit the subscribe button down below and you can hit the bell button. That way you won't miss a single upload. I upload every single Saturday. So this video is going to be for my new mommies. What I wish I would have known my first year of motherhood, plus 7 tips I would definitely give and recommend to make their motherhood journey more smooth their first year. So if you're interested in learning what I wish I would have known and 7 tips to help you out, make sure you keep watching. The first thing I really wish I would have known is somebody would have told me more about C-sections. In 2016, I was pregnant with my daughter Gia. She's now 3 years old. I ended up giving birth via emergency C-section, and I was thrown through a loop because I literally knew nothing about C-sections. I hadn't researched anything, and it was just like my OB was like, okay, we have to do a C-section. And so I feel like knowing more about information about C-sections would have definitely prepared me more. I feel like it would have been a smoother transition. Maybe I would have known what was coming next. And although a lot of times we don't plan to have a C-section, it could be a possibility. And plus, it's just good information to know, period. So I would definitely recommend for new mothers, if you're pregnant and this is your first time in motherhood, research C-sections and vaginal births to get more info. Also, what I wish I would have known is that breastfeeding can be hard. Breastfeeding is not a piece of cake or a walk in the park for everybody. For some mothers it may be like super easy, but for my case it was really hard. I wish I would have known that it wasn't just something that can magically happen, or for me it didn't come that way. When my daughter was born, going through the postpartum depression and my milk supply I thought it was low, so it was a really hard journey for me. And so I put my daughter on formula and I wanted to switch back to breastfeeding. The whole breastfeeding journey was kind of rough for me. I just thought that when I gave birth, the baby will automatically know what to do. I will automatically know what to do. And although I did my research on breastfeeding, I was not prepared for breastfeeding to go left. And I will do a video on how I increased my milk supply in case you're interested or wondering how I did that. But eventually my milk supply did come back and I was breastfeeding again. But my tip to new mommies who are breastfeeding is that get support, get around other mothers who may be breastfeeding, who can encourage you. It's okay if it's not easy. A lot of moms struggle with it, and that's something that I wish I would have known, so I wouldn't have felt like such an outsider with everybody breastfeeding and everybody seeming like to come so natural. So that leads me to my next tip, or what I wish I would have known. It's okay to use formula. It's definitely okay if you can't breastfeed. It's not the devil's juice. If you feed your baby formula, it's gonna be okay. Some moms have to work, some moms got to go to school, or some moms milk supply just is low or isn't flowing maybe as much as others, and it's okay. Formula has a great amount of nutrition. If you choose to feed your baby that way or give your baby nutrition through formula, it's gonna be okay. Your baby's not gonna die. It's gonna be fine as long as you know you're doing what's best for you and your baby. I do recommend trying breastfeeding first, but if that doesn't work for you, it's okay. I wish I would have known this because when I switched my daughter to formula, I just beat myself up. I was just reading all these articles about how breast is best, but you have to do what's best for you. You're still feeding your baby. Your baby's still getting nutrition and growing. You're still taking care of your baby, and you're a good mom, formula or breast. So my tip to new mothers is don't let people pressure you into thinking that just because you're feeding your baby formula, you're a bad parent or you don't know what's best. Also, the whole first year, I wish I would have known to plan out my meals. Now, I will read this on like the mommy boards and stuff, like, oh, they say, oh, have freezer meals, or you make a week worth of dinner that week. I didn't think that it would be such a big thing, but literally definitely do this, new mommies, because when you come out of the hospital and you just gave birth, you may not always have time to cook a meal every single day. You may be tired, you may be a working mommy, maybe you're healing from a C-section and you can't stand over a stove. So I definitely recommend freezing your meals ahead. Maybe make a pan of lasagna for the week, or make a big pot of spaghetti that you know you'll be eating off for the rest of the week. Honestly, I really wish I would have did this. It would have saved me so much time, so much energy. And then I eventually fell off cooking because I was so tired. So me and Denezra, we started getting like fast food all the time, which wasn't good for, you know, us, and it was spending money. So I definitely recommend it to save your energy and save your money and just be a huge stress relief. Maybe you have friends or family that can come over, you know, and help you prepare the meals. Having your meals planned out will be one less thing that you have to worry about that day. One good one that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, but I know I would like to share from my own experience, is that not to spend a lot on newborn gear. Also, just me as a mom, if I would see something in Walmart like, oh, this is so cute, these little socks with the bows on it, or these ribbons, like, I wish we would have just got her a small amount of newborn stuff, because honestly she grew so fast out of all that cute stuff, and it was just like, honestly, some stuff she hadn't even worn, and I was just like, oh my gosh, why do we buy all this? So if you're a new mom, this is a personal choice, but if you want to go crazy because this is your first baby, then more power to you. But if you are like me and you want to save money, then I suggest not going crazy over the newborn clothes. And then my daughter Gia, she is tall, my husband is tall, and she's tall and bigger than your average child, and she just kind of grew overnight. And next thing I know, she was out of the newborn clothes, like starting to wear toddler clothes. So make sure you just, honestly, I would buy what I need, unless you plan on passing it down to other people, or you like to give stuff away. Maybe if your baby doesn't wear it and you want to give it away, then that's good too. But I would suggest saving money by just buying the right amount of stuff and not overdoing it. Now here is something, it's so crazy. I'm just now handling this. I wish somebody would have told me that once you start your baby on the pacifier, it's really hard to stop. I know a lot of nurses were recommending it for Gia when she was first born, and she wouldn't take it. Lo and behold, she was so fussy that I started giving her the pacifier. She took it and didn't let it go. Y'all, she is 3. This girl is 3 years old, and she just started weaning off of it 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's very hard. We give our children or babies pacifiers to pacify. When they're angry, when they're just, you know, sometimes hungry or sleepy, we give them this pacifier, and they use it as a comfort mechanism. I guess it kind of mocks breastfeeding, or the suction motion of breastfeeding. It comforts the baby, so sometimes they can get attached to that pacifier, and it's strong emotions when you try to take it away. I recommend, if you're a new mom, that if you want to put your child on the pacifier and it works best for you, then great, but just know that it may be hard. I wish somebody would have told me that. I personally probably wouldn't have did it for Gia. I know some kids give the pacifier up easier, but Gia, she was not having it. I tried to wean her too early. She was like 2 years old, and she didn't understand, like, okay, you know, you're a big girl now, so you got to give up the pacifier. She was not having it, y'all. So I recommend that if you do try to wean, if your child is on the pacifier and you try to wean them, make sure they're at an age where they can understand you taking it. I don't know if anybody had that problem other than me, but if you do have that problem like me, I'm gonna make a video for weaning your toddler off of the pacifier. This is a big one. In my first year, I wish I would have known that support system is key, and it's okay to ask for help and take a break. I didn't really have a huge support system. I had, like, maybe I could count on my hand the support system that I had. A lot of them were busy or had their own children or were in school. I didn't have a huge ton of help, and the help that I did have, I wasn't asking for breaks. I wasn't telling people or speaking up and saying that I'm tired, I'm exhausted, you guys, I'm frustrated. Y'all, I was just kind of like sitting there and not utilizing the people that were there for me. So I definitely recommend that if you are a new mom. That's kind of what contributed to my postpartum depression. If you need a break and you're a new mommy, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're a bad mom, or you need time to yourself to rejuvenate, to just rest, to think, to pee. And yeah, you need time for all those things, because we put ourselves last, or we neglect ourselves sometimes when the baby comes, and that's expected. But you don't want to get to the degree where you're just overwhelmed and you start to get depressed. So mommies, if this is your first time you're going into motherhood, make sure you start knowing that it's okay to ask people that you love and trust for help, and more than likely they want to help. So make sure you utilize your circle of friends, family, your spouse, and tell them that you need help. It's okay to take a break. My last thing that I wish I would have known, and that I would tell new mommies out there, and I think like this is the biggest one. It's kind of emotional for me because I thought that I had to be perfect. If you're not a perfect mom, that's okay. It's okay if everything's not perfect and lined up, and you're not doing everything by the book, and you're not doing what Sally's over here doing, or you're not doing what they're doing on Facebook, or they're parenting this way, or they chose this method. You know what's best for your child. At the end of the day, you're an awesome mom for feeding your child, taking care of them, loving your child. And I wish somebody would have told me this, that everything is not going to be perfect, because I'm pretty much a perfectionist, and I just wanted to be the best mom so bad that I stressed myself out, that I began overthinking things, and I wasn't stopping to appreciate, you know, I'm doing a bomb job for my baby girl. And to stop comparing yourself to the moms that look like they have it all together, because 9 times out of 10 they don't have it all together, especially if they're a new mom. Like, everybody goes through it. You're not alone. Don't feel bad if you choose whatever you choose for your baby. As long as you're taking care of your baby, their needs are met, you are an awesome mom. So I just want to encourage you, if you are a new mom, that you're doing a bang out job, and that it does get easier. So my tip is to just know that you are a great mom. My tip is to encourage yourself, and my tip is to get around other people that will encourage you, and other moms that will encourage you as well. So if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button. That way you won't miss a single thing when I upload on Saturdays. Also, share this with any moms that may need to see this. Thank y'all for watching and tuning in. I love y'all so much, and I will see you guys next Saturday. Bye.